Hey guys, I'm Judge Gaming and I'm your coach for the Las Vegas Corviknights. We are here for our Week 6 matchup. Let's get into it. So to start this off, I want to just say my opponent is currently undefeated and he's for sure guaranteed playoffs. So I am not sure I'm going to be using my best possible team. I definitely want to win, but I also want to have something interesting to bring against him during playoffs. So keep that in mind. These are the Pokemon I do not anticipate him to bring. Halucha. He has terrain, as you'll see in a bit, but I really don't anticipate it. I think we have some good things. Rillaboom is kind of an iffy. He may bring it because of Dracovish, but he has other things that really are good checks to it. So I don't think he brings it. He could, though. Mamoswine I don't think he brings because Dracovish absolutely wrecks it along with other Pokemon on our team. Grimmsnarl I don't think he brings just because I feel like he has other mons that do a lot of work. Adino I don't think he brings. He could bring it maybe as a Wish Toxic set, Wish Pass Toxic type thing, maybe knockoff. But besides that, I don't really see it coming, just because I think he has more threatening things on his team. And QD Fly is kind of his joke pick, so I don't really anticipate him bringing it. If he does, he'll bring Sticky Webs for sure. But I think he has better ways to go and doesn't need the webs this week. Alright, so this is his team I anticipate him to bring. It's very, very threatening. Mega Alakazam. Fortunately, it does not get access to Nasty Plot. We have that banned, but it is still super threatening with Expanding Force in Psychic Terrain, which is really scary. Indeedee, I anticipate him bringing to set up the terrain. Psychic really, his team just really kind of destroys mine. Blacephalon is a crazy good mon. It hits super hard with its Ghost and Fire type stab. Blossom, I highly anticipate him bringing. He actually drafted this because of my Dracovish. He said it was a check, so I highly anticipate him bringing it just to see what it does. Skarmory, I anticipate him bringing just because of its defensive capabilities and it being able to set up hazards against me like spikes, stealth rock, and being able to whirl out wind out things. And it takes on my team fairly well. And Toxapex I anticipate him bringing as another Dracovish counter, just because Dracovish does virtually nothing to it. I can hit it with the Psychic Fangs, but that still only does like, I want to say 40. So yeah, let's get into the Pokemon I did not bring. For the first mon, we have Hippowdon. I didn't think it was good against his team. He had a lot of things that kind of checked it, and with his Psychic mons just absolutely being able to obliterate it. Decided not to bring Dracovish this week. I thought it had some viability against him, but I might want to save it for the playoffs. Savali, I thought about doing a Savali Dark just because of his Psychic, but I thought there might be other options that were better. Cobalion, I thought wasn't as great just because of how many Psychic types he has on his team. And Vanillux, I thought was okay, but there were other Pokemon that I thought did better. And our last mon is kind of a joke mon, so we didn't bring it. Alright, so let's get into the team I did bring. We're going to start off with Mandibuzz as our Dark type. We are very specially defensive, rocking the leftovers, Foul Play, Roost, Tailwind, U-Turn. Tailwind is basically a win con. We can set up a U-Turn out on something. If he goes for Psychic type move, we can Tailwind, U-Turn out, hit that thing super hard, and then go into some other mons to break. Foul Play in case he has anything set up. Most of his stuff is special, so it's not going to do too much, but I wanted something to hit on the dark side. Hit his Psychic types hard, and Roost for longevity. Alright, let's get into our next mon. We have Slowbro, sassy nature. We, again, especially defensive. This thing is there to take on just overall his team. It's fairly good against his Psychic Pokemon. If they have Shadow Ball, though, that's going to be a problem. I highly anticipate them bringing that. So I have Slack Off for longevity, Signal Beam to be able to hit pretty much everything on his team, and not have like Shadow Ball because of Adino, a normal type, which is immune to Ghost, and Psychic just to hit overall. Let's get into our next mon. Mega Mawile, this is going to be the primary mon we switch into on Tailwind, depending, getting a Sword Stance, a Play Rough, and a Sucker Punch or a Knockoff off could be incredible. Knockoff hits his team super good. Sucker Punch is going to be there in case we are not into Psychic Terrain, which prevents priority moves. It can be very threatening, and Play Rough just absolutely a tremendous amount of damage to his team. And Sword Stance can help us really get that extra oomph we can and really threaten him. Let's get into our next mon. Among Us. So this is going to be my Blossom check. We have the ability to Spore on things, Giga Drain, Sledge Mob, and Clear Smog. A Blossom gets Quiver Dance, so we can live like that thing no problem. It really doesn't do anything to us. This also helps with Rillaboom if he decides to bring that. I don't want him setting up on me, so we have Clear Smog to be able to get rid of his Sword Stance if he decides to go that route, and Black Sledge for general recovery. I think this set's going to put in some work. Looking forward to using it. I definitely anticipate his Blossom coming, so yeah, I think it's going to do a good job. Let's get into our next mon. Victini, we are bringing a Choice Spec set with Blue Flare, Glaciate, Thunder, and Trick. There are a few things like Toxapex that don't want a Choice Spec, so if we can trick that, that'd be really good. Blossom as well does not want a Choice Specs, because especially if it hasn't set up. If it's set up, then it definitely wants it, but if it hasn't, then that's crippling to it. Blue Flare, Glaciate could be good to lower the opponent's speed. If things get out of hand, I can use that as like a last ditch effort and lower it so something else that's a little slower can come in and clean up. Let's get into our final mon. Galvantula is going to be Choice Scarf this week. Sticky Webs, Thunder, Bug Buzz, and String Shot just to lower my opponent's attack in case of anything. I thought that could be a good, like if I anticipate him switch, I can String Shot, lowering it, or if I'm about to go down, I can do that as well. But I'm primarily going to be hitting the Thunder and Bug Buzz. I might switch String Shot out for Volt Switch. That's something that I might do, as it can be a little bit more useful maybe. I don't know. Bug Buzz is super threatening to my opponent. Hits pretty much his entire team fairly hard. Thunder hits the rest very hard. He doesn't have a ground type, so it can be very useful. And Sticky Whips is just overall support for the rest of my team. And let's get into the battle. Alright, so I was wrong. My opponent did not bring Toxapex. Instead, he brought a Dino. So we're going to go into our Mandibuzz here. That should be able to take whatever Blacephalon wants to go for. We can go for a Roost here to recover some of that damage off. That's going to be a problem late game. Skarmory is there. He's Rocky Helmet, so we got to definitely switch out on that. We can go into our Victini after the Roost. I definitely anticipate him to set up like on us, basically set up Stealth Rocks. I can defog. He has the Audino. He might try Toxicking me, which could be really annoying. I'm gonna just set up the Tailwind, a U-turn out, go into Mawile. This thing is a huge threat for him. We can't be toxic. He goes for the knockoff that does nothing because our item is a Megastone, which cannot be knocked off. He goes Blacephalon, which is interesting. I'm gonna Sword Stance on this thing. I did go for the Sucker Punch just to make sure I killed, which was a mistake because now Tailwind's over. I should have definitely went for the Play Rough there. That would have been a better play. Mystical Fire is able to kill us. That was really good tech on his part. Did not anticipate him bringing that, but I guess looking at my team, it makes sense. Going for the Bug Buzz here is his Audino is wow. That did nothing. I'm able to switch out into my Among Us here on potentially the Toxic if he wants to go for. He just has Wish support. This is probably he's Sunny Day. That's interesting. I am able to Spore his Audino just in case he wants to be a problem. I think that's good because he'll switch out. He's going to have Blacephalon in Sun. That is really, really scary. Probably my best switch is into Mandibuzz here. We should be able to take one. He has Flamethrower, so that's a problem because I don't think we take another. I'm going to go Slowbro on the Flamethrower because that should do nothing to us. It does, wow. That's that one. I have to draft Blacephalon at some point. I'm pretty sure he's locked, so he goes Blossom. I can slack off, get some health here. I live pretty much anything this thing wants to go for, so I can take my time. If I want to slowly whittle it down with Ice Beam, if I get the freeze, which is 10%, this thing's absolutely crippled. He's going to go again. I should switch into my Mungus on the following turn. As he goes for 3. I can take whatever he wants to go for, no problem. And Mungus should just absolutely... Yeah, he has +3. I can go for the clear smog here and absolutely obliterate this threat. He has hidden power. I'm curious what that was. Hidden power. So that doesn't do much, but we're able to remove his stat changes. So I don't really anticipate him staying in here. He goes +7. I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb. We are able to do a fair bit. We do get the poison, which is nice. That helps. We don't really have a switch into this anymore. He can lock himself into Shadow Ball if he wants to, and we don't really have a switch. So, yeah, that was probably a mistake, but my... fudge. This is not looking good. My only hope is that I don't outspeed. This is really problematic. Probably my best play is to go into Mungus here. And hopefully he switches out, which is interesting, into his Alakazam. I am going to switch into my Slowbro. We should be able to live whatever he wants to go for, whatever Psychic move I anticipate. He's going to get the Regenerator, which is unfortunate. But Expanding Force, so he definitely was prepped for his terrain. I was very worried about Expanding Force Alakazam. I am able to live a Shadow Ball, so I think we are able to kick. No, we aren't, unfortunately. I think it's probably good to switch into Among Us here. Among Us, to take a Shadow Ball. We can live that, no problem. And switch into our Slowbro if we want, and kind of just keep switching. He goes for the Expanding Force. So I probably should have switched into Slowbro. That would have been a better play. I can go Victini here and pick up a kill with he Ghosts and DD. That crit definitely mattered. I don't think I would have been able to kill if he did not do that. I think his Blacephalon has the game here. So yeah, especially with the crit. I don't think I live that regardless though. So this is going to be a 5-0. Even though this is a pretty bad loss, I think it kind of gives me some insight for playoffs and what he's going for. I definitely think Dracovish would have been good this week. I think the Blossom I had checked, so I think next time Dracovish is definitely coming. And just some other mons I think could definitely put in work. So let's learn from this loss and take it to playoffs. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.